जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम 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 जय राम जय जय राम 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 ओम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम 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 ओम 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Papa's tune, Papa's Swamiji's pitch. Swamiji का pitch. Shri Ram Jai Jai. Correct, correct. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. How many you want that? Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम 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 जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Hari Om to everybody. Pranam, pranam, pranam. What is it that you want us to share today? Pranam. The easy way to keep everybody's mouth shut is this question. Tell us what is it should be shared.
To speak of the glories of the Lord. To speak of the glories of the Lord.
Glories of the Lord.
Good, 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 good.
The glories of the Lord.
Glories of the Lord. Suppose we bring an individual before our mind who has lived a laudable life. No? What do we do now? Just think about it. We start watching minutely, what all he does, how does he handle things, how does he face various trying situations, how is he in a position to keep up the equanimity, how does he bring in excellence in whatever he or she does. Think about it. Any individual to whom we have reverence, we adore him. Why? We ask ourselves. Anything we have to be a little more contemplative, that is necessary. Otherwise, what happens is, at that particular moment we feel happy and then we forget about it. So a little more contemplative. So similarly, when we think about God and His glories, since He is not an entity, not a person, He is the subtle and mysterious power, comes out in varied manifestations. So that is why we always try to remember Him as what all we are blessed with. The first and foremost thing that came to our mind was about His apara mahima. He is seated within us. He is making everything active, but we don't recognize we don't respect, we don't acknowledge, we don't even give any importance at all. At times we ignore him, but still he doesn't leave us. This is one of his apara mahima. Because he doesn't expect, we are all living in a world where everybody expects something from somebody. And here, the power because of which I exist does not expect anything from me. And just because I have ignored him, just because I have not recognized him, he is not denying me anything. Whatever he has been giving to me, that he continues to give, and he continues to give more and more. When we were a small boy, and when we became a youth, when we became a middle-aged person, we can find out now how he has been revealing the potentiality, the capability that was lying dormant in us. He made it to express itself. And he made us to feel joy when somebody recognizes it. But still he does not come in the forefront. Kindly think about it. That is why in Malayalam, a beautiful song which we used to, I don't know how to translate it, we will try. Nanni jolli tirkuvani jeevitham pora. What is the first line? Daiva sneham varnichidan vakugal pora. Somebody asked us to say something about his glories, So here the Bhakta says, the words are hardly sufficient to express his glories, the glories of his love. Daiva sneham varnichidan vakugal pora. Nanni jolli tirkuvani jeevitham pora. To express my gratitude, one life is not enough. We may hear that music and say it's wonderful, but start going through the lyrics. How he has been taking care of me from behind. That is why he is called Karunamayi, Dayamayi. Because seated within me, he propels me to think, to see, to hear, to taste, to touch, to smell, to think, to act with my five sense organs. If he is not there, all these things become inactive. It becomes a jadam. But the moment he is inside me, I become a vibrant personality to outside. And in spite of this, I hardly recognize him. And with all that, he has not reduced his affection for me, even by not 1%. He still cares for me. So these are some of the methods by which, instead of glorifying him, we directly go to the fundamental thing, That is why Swami Chidanji Maharaj used to say, always try to think what all you have, rather than listing what all you don't have, Because then the grumbling and complaint comes and you become unaware of the bounteous gifts God has been giving to you right from the moment you were born as a seed in mother's womb. From that moment onwards, till this moment, what is it that I can individually take credit of? But still, he doesn't come to the forefront and says, chupchap, baitho, I am behind. Never, never. He allows me to flatten myself. He allows me to take all the credit. He allows me to get adored by person, respected by persons and society. And still I don't recognize that he is the power. And even that, when people only congratulate the outer form, when they appreciate the outer form, we find happy, no? He still says, okay, have it. We happen to go through a PPT. Today morning also, yesterday we showed to somebody else. Yesterday. In that, God patiently waits. There is a dialogue. You talked about the glories of the Lord, One ardent devotee, he brought out this concept beautifully. As if, right from the moment I woke up, God has been waiting that I will talk to him. This can... Huh? They can hear, So then I will go to that PPT. Please hold on, I will try to go through the words of the PPT. You check whether they hear.
Yes.
Can you hear?
No sound is wrong. No sound is wrong.
Yes.
They can hear.
You can hear now?
Swamiji.
Suppose I read out, will you be able to hear?
Yes, Swamiji.
Acha, okay. So God says, when you got up this morning, I observed you, and I hope you would talk to me. No matter if there were only a few words, asking my opinion or just giving thanks for something that happened to you yesterday. But I noticed that you were very busy, looking for the appropriate clothes to wear and to go to work. I continued hoping, while you were doing things in a hurry, I know there were still some minutes for you to stop for a moment and tell me hello, but you were too much busy. That is why I lighted the sky for you. I filled it with colors and beautiful songs of birds to see if you would hear me, but you did not. Notice this. I observed you while going to work, and I waited patiently for the whole day. With all your activities, I suppose you were too much busy to tell me something. God is with us, not too much. And then these are the words. While you were coming back, I noticed. So throughout the day, right from the moment I got up, I was too much busy, Never bothered about him. So while you were coming back, I noticed your tiredness, and I wanted to shower upon you some water to take away your stress. I wanted to make you a favor so that you would think of me. But you got angry and offended my name. What a time to rain, Normally we say. I really wished you would talk to me. No, there was still enough time. I'm hoping against hope. Later on, you turned on the television when you came home. No? I waited patiently while you were watching it and having your supper, but you forgot again to talk to me. I noticed that you were tired and understood your silence, so I darkened the clarity of the sky. But I did not leave you in darkness, I just changed it with a small light. It was really beautiful, but you were not interested in seeing it. At the time of sleeping, I think you were already exhausted after saying good night to your family. You lay on your bed and fell asleep almost instantly. I accompanied your sleep with music. My night animals did very well. No problem, because you might not realize that I am always with you.
Amma, come. Go back.
I have more patience than what you can imagine. I would like to teach you also how to be patient with others. I love you so much that I wait every day for a prayer. The landscape that I made is only for you. Well, you are getting up again, and I hope again, just out of my love for you. May you have a nice day, your friend God. Huh? So this is what is happening to us every day. He is with us, He has been with us. And but for Him, because of Him we are what we are, but still we refuse. And in spite of that, He is not ignoring us. He is not reciprocating in the same language. Think about it. We lot of bhajans we say, apara mahima. Do we realize what is apara mahima? This fundamental thing, He is there within me, but I refuse to accept. I refuse to recognize. I refuse to realize. I refuse to become subservient to Him. I know intellectually now that without Him I don't exist. But unless and until it becomes an experience in me, I will not be able to know His Mahima. It will be only merely a word, a hollow word to be blunt. Puja Mataji, whenever she talks about it, in a simple language, she will say, this is Papa, this is Papa. That means, His Mahima is seen in anything and everything. That should be our aim. When I see a person, when I touch an article, when I indulge in anything, when I do Ramnam, when I do Bhajan, when I meet a Mahatma, immediately I should think, you have facilitated me to do this. If you have not facilitated, if you have not brought me to Anandashram, I would not have known at all. I would have been dealing with everybody from the individual level. I never knew that there is something beyond my individual level. You made me aware. Though I was not rising up to your expectation, you did not deny me of anything. Think about it. This is the quintessence of spirituality. A little boy wants everybody else to look at it as the center. If he or she says something, you must do that something, because he or she is the center. It is harmless for a baby, but not for grown-up person. We have to respect other people, respond to other people, work for them, help them. There is so much need for intercommunication in a society. How do I pay back? He doesn't expect anything from me, so how do I pay back? He is there before me in the form of his creation. That is why Papa said, to love all is the true bhakti of God, to serve all is the real worship of God. Not a dictum or a dogma. When I become aware of his apara mahima, my prayer is all my thoughts, words and deeds should be hitakaram. It should be beneficial for the creation, for the co-creation. It should not be limited to me. Then I will become unaware of him. But when I move from me to we, I am slowly trying to become aware of him. Because I am giving a space for something other than me to me. And that will keep me in my journey and ultimately to cross from me to me, me to him, and me to me and me to we, and we to him. Straight away we may not be able to do that. That is why this karma yoga, people keep on telling us, to transform every act of ours into a dedication to God. So it's a wonderful topic that was raised today, how to become aware of these glories. Then we suppose we take a pen and pencil, a pen and paper, then start listing out what are the creature comforts that are making my life comfortable. Then we can see his mahima more and more clearer and clearer. Today we had our lunch, rice. Rice is the staple diet in Kerala. Okay. I did not produce this. You brought it out through Mother Nature, in the form of a paddy. And we don't know how the first paddy came. The paddy sapling, you call it as. Normally, when we sow the seed, paddy seed, it sprouts. That is how we do the agricultural operation as far as paddy cultivation is concerned. When the land is made cultivable, after ploughing it, making it loose, we sow the seed, and in 15-20 days it sprouts, and after a month or so, we transplant, and then apply chemical manure, and we do the weeding. We ensure that the water is there at all times. And then the flowering takes place, then the fruition takes place, slowly the paddy that comes out, and when it matures, we harvest it. Threshing is going on. Then we separate the husk from the rice. Then the rice comes. I did not do anything. The first paddy, God brought it. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam. Not only human beings, sarva bhutanam. All creations have come from me. So right from that, he has sent it. And then through his creation, he made us to identify that it's a item for staple food. He made somebody to declare, research. And then he made somebody to process it. How to remove the husk from the rice. And when the rice is there, after drying and keeping it, then you start grinding it, you start boiling it, it comes out in the form of rice, kanji, dosha, idli, so many things. So one particular item is needed for me, is enough for me to know his apara mahima. That is why Mataji said, this is Papa, that is Papa, this is Papa, that is Papa. Because she named Papa as the subtle and mysterious power, that's all. We got confused, that's why we were not able to understand. She makes it very clear that it is the Nirguna, Nirakara, Nirvikara, Shashvata, Ananda, Swarup, all impersonal aspect. So she wanted us to identify with everything, identify everything with him. That is the truth. It is not that we are imposing some ideas. That is the truth. So we have forgotten that. We see it as rice. We see it as a utensil. We see it as a gas oven. We see everything as they are. But apart from that, there is one more dimension there. If I am not in a position to look back and see that behind my body-mind internet complex there is a power behind it, first let me see whatever I am using, whatever that makes my life comfortable, where from it has come. This could be one method. We are reminded of this process because in glimpses of divine vision, the first one he says, try to go to the origin of your and the world life. Not only your. When we are speaking through the mic, this should enable us to go to him. The laptop, we should be able to go to him. The specs, we should be able to go to him. The space, the hall. At the moment, we are not in a position to do it. But now by making one of the devotees to say, think what about the Apara Mahima, now we are reminded of this. So now we pray, kindly make me aware of your presence. I am not asking anything. So far, I start my life only from my body-mind intellect complex, which has got its own, plus and minus, like likes and dislikes, rights and wrongs, preferences, priorities, cravings, infatuations, ambition, this and that, so many. I have never applied my mind that there is a power behind this. So to know his Mahima, to glory, probably we feel now that this has been raised, that we should start seeing the glories of the entire creation, one by one, wherever it is possible. Yesterday we discussed, Swalpam apyasya dharmasya. Even if I identify one with him, that's a gain for me. We always think about this language, And Papa used this technique, In 2 years' time, when he got this, God made him to talk to him. This is another process by which we become aware of him, aware of his Mahima. Right from the second chapter starts of IQG. Now from the narrow pond of a worldly life, Ram had lifted up his slave to throw him into the extensive ocean of universal life. But to swim in the wide ocean, Ram knew Ramdas wanted strength and courage, for gaining which Ram intended to make his ignorant and untrained slave to pass through a course of severe discipline, and this under his direct guidance and support. So one night, while engaged in drinking the sweetness of his name, Ramdas was made to think in the following stream. Now the dialogue starts. So the importance or relevance of dialogue. O Ram, when thy slave finds thee at once so powerful, so loving, only by contemplating upon all these things, we become aware of this. Previously, when we were reading it, we were not applying our mind. He says, O Ram, when thy slave finds thee at once so powerful and so loving, all the potentialities have come out. And his unconditional love for us. And that he who trusts thee can be sure of true peace and happiness. Why should he not throw himself entirely on thy mercy, which can only be possible by giving up everything he called mine? Another clue for all of us, to know his glories. We are not aware, not that we don't want to become aware. When we hear all these satsang, we do want to become aware of it. Otherwise, we will not be sitting here, no? The very fact that we are sitting and hearing, it is an implied one that we all want to know him. We want to realize his presence. But we are unable to remove the roadblock. And Papa says the roadblock is, which can only be possible by giving up everything he called mine. When everything is yours, that is now covered by the curtain called me and mine. Thou art all in all to thy slave. Thou art the sole protector in the world. Men are deluded when they declare, I do this, I do that, this is mine, that is mine. All, O Ram, is thine. All things are done by thee alone. Thy slave's one prayer to thee is to take him under thy complete guidance and remove his I-ness. Now, from 1920 to 1922, Papa, through severe austerities, self-denial, withdrawal, concentrating more and more on this power. And when he knew what is what, he was able to diagnose the problem. In spite of that, he says at the last line, thy slave's one prayer to thee is to take him under thy complete guidance and remove his I-ness. So the method shown by Papa is to have a dialogue with him, to become aware of his bounteous blessings on us, and a constant and a prayer from the bottom of the heart to remove the me and mine. Whether we are doing Ramnam, whether we are doing bhajan, whether we are doing satsang, whether we are hearing satsang, whether we are going through shastras, we do so many things under the banner of spiritual journey. But all are to be centered on this removal of me and mine. Thy slave's one prayer to thee is to take him under thy complete guidance and remove his I-ness. So this dialogue, just now we read out, that PPT. God is waiting every moment to have a chat with us. But we are preoccupied with so many things, forgetting that it is He who has made us to get preoccupied. So our now prayer is, see, one by one you give, but in between you make me know that you are also giving it. You make me to get up, and immediately after that you make me to do so many things, Brush my teeth, have a cup of coffee, go for a bath, change my dress, go to the office. So many things one by one. And you are not providing me a breathing time to remember you. Then he will say, have I not given you the name? Why don't you chant? How much time it takes for you to chant that name? We remember we have shared this, but for the sake of those who are hearing it for the first time, J.P. Vaswani Ji Maharaj, we were told this, that when we went to England, he was talking about the need to remember God. The audience, they heard everything patiently. Then they got up and said, can we straight away ask you something? Oh, yes. You are a free person. You can afford to be in God remembrance throughout. But in our case, we have got family, we have got profession, we have got social obligations. In the midst of this, all those things, how do you expect us to remember Him? Right from the moment we get up till we retire to bed, our whole waking time is packed with one thing or another, and we hardly get any time. And you say constant remembrance, constant remembrance. It is impractical. So he smiled and said, you are very right. It is impractical. And in my case, I am free. In your case, you are not free. But let us approach it in a different stage. Out of 3,600 seconds, can you set apart 5 seconds? The way in which he presented, that is why we still remember that. Out of 3,600, 5 is, it's all right, we can manage. So immediately entire people said, yes, we can. Then he said, when you get up in the morning, you just say this 3 times. I am not alone, you are with me. I am not alone, you are with me. I am not alone, you are with me. Start brushing your teeth, go in. Again after 1 hour. Initially, we may find it difficult, but when it becomes a part of our this thing. Whenever we want, whenever we feel thirsty, we take water, Whenever we feel hungry, we take food. Similarly, whenever we feel like going to the toilet, washroom, we go there. Whenever we get up in the morning, we brush the teeth. So many things have become a part of it. Unknowingly, it goes on, no? Similarly, this has also to become a part of it. Every hour. Then you may say, when I go to office, what shall I do? He said, look at the watch. If the hour has come, suppose you get up at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock you do, 6 o'clock you do, 7 o'clock you do, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock you are in the office. If everybody is watching you, if you are immersed, you go to the bathroom. Or if nobody is watching you, you can close your eyes and take only 3 seconds. So the mantra he gave was, I am not alone, you are with me. That is the cream of spirituality, essence of spirituality. Only for that we are doing all these things. We forget this and keep on doing so many other things that this cardinal principle does not strike to us. I am not alone, you are with me. And we have been assured by Mahatma that when we keep on bringing this remembrance through any other method, he will in his own way take us forward. We have that assurance. So we started with the glories of God. Then the glories of God led us to know that because of Him only we exist. He is the subtle and mysterious power expressing itself in the form of life force, in the form of awareness, in the form of intelligence, in the form of potentialities, in the form of compassion and love, peace, and he is in the form of everything later. So we have to keep on hammering this, Today's question is the quintessence of our entire spirituality. How am I to remember? How am I to know the source because of which I exist? I know I am not, I don't know. That is the stage, we are, all of us have reached. We know it now. When Papa said life is the expression of Atman, though seemingly two they are one, it gave us sudden a clarity. Oh, Atman is life. It is not that the life that is opposed to death. It is the life force. So he is there in that form within us, within every one of us. And in spite of our ignorance, he doesn't leave us. Because even the ignorance was created by him, so that is why he doesn't leave us. So now, from the individual standpoint, we say that in spite of giving all these things, we are not reciprocating, we are not remembering. Even if somebody praises us, even somebody appreciates us, even if somebody congratulates us, mentally we should be able to immediately pass it on to him. Puja Swamiji was sharing his experience with us that during the initial stages when visitors started coming here and when they saw him serving Papa and Mataji, they used to do pranams to him which he was not in a position to accept. So he went and complained to Papa. It makes me uncomfortable. So immediately Papa said, pass it on to Ramdas. So then, until such time, none of us had any idea how to pass it on. But when it was conveyed in that manner, then we know even if somebody says, close your eyes and pass it on. Swamiji used the word, as is my wont. I don't keep it anything for myself. So when somebody, so that it is one of the methods by which we become aware of his presence. And when we are made to pass through testing period, then also we ask him, why are you making me to pass through? Even that is also passed on to him. Though the pain is there at the bodily level. So we try to now train through all these methods. Dialogue, I am not alone, you are with me. Try to go to the origin of everything. Any object that we see can connect us, not that in a particular, I should go to a temple, I should go to an ashram, I should go to a Mahatma. No. Any object that comes before you, any person that comes before you, any situation that comes before you, is enough for us to remember him. Nay, the world itself is Guru or God, he says in one of his quotations. So we all try now. Today he made us to intensely dwell on this aspect, which is the cream of spirituality. If we get something of it, not even 1% of it, it's a very, very, very big gain for all of us. Now, the devotee's level, we can say, he has now given some promotion to us, because when something happens, we say, by Papa's grace, unknowingly that word will come.
She wanted to say something. Yes? You would like to say something? She was writing.
Hari Om? No. Can you hear?
Yes, yes.
At least.
Once of doubt, Swamiji.
Tell me.
How can you do a work, dedicate a work to God, Swamiji, but doing it perfectly, or how can you do it, the dedication of the work to God?
When everything has been given by Him to us, it is a thing to be revered and done, That is what is called arpanam, dedication. So we develop that attitude. That means everything we handle it with a touch of tenderness, touch of love. Nothing in a harsh way. Even a plate cannot be, or something cannot be thrown, You may be putting it in a waste box, but not throwing. These are some of the ways by which we train our mind. Immediately we think about that. We may forget. Again we try. Somewhere you have to make a beginning,
Yes.
In Quest of God, in-depth study is meant only for that. Because throughout, from the 4th chapter onwards, you will see, he is bringing out this in the form of anecdotes, where he is identifying everything as the form of his Ram. Nobody is irrelevant for him, nobody is insignificant for him, nobody is unimportant for him, because everything is a form of God. So how to make it a reality, he is showing us, not through tall talks, high philosophies, but through simple anecdotes. So In Quest of God, in-depth study of In Quest of God, really makes us aware of the glories of God. How he could transform, Ram could transform an ordinary person who is like all of us, with all our limitations, who was a grihastha, who was a professional, and what price he paid, and then how he became a source of inspiration, perennial source of inspiration to people who got in touch with him. So if to think about his glories, we can keep on talking.
Swamiji was pointing it out about cosmic consciousness. And there was a recap in Pathla's Path by Swamiji, Puja Swamiji, Papaji. There is a question, Swamiji, we have seen God to show us the way which leads to Him, capital H, so that we too can see Him, capital H, face to face. And that is, very good, in nutshell, the quintessence about salient points which Swamiji has touched, paves the way for seeing God in everybody.
So first of all, when we handle anything, let us try this. Handling with gentleness, tenderness, love. First we can start with objects.
Keen aspiration, and then purification of the mind, conquering of the ego.
Those are all academic,
Academic.
Now let us try to put it into practice. Any small item that I come in contact with, when somebody offers me a cup of coffee,
yes,
we remember about the coffee, we remember about the glass. And when the coffee has done its work of stimulating me, and I clean the glass and place it tenderly, I think I have moved one step ahead. So let us keep all those theories. Let us try to put ourselves in the field straight away. From morning till evening, we are handling so many things. First, we will start with those insentient being, and then slowly stretch it to the sentience. These 3-4 mantras, nothing is irrelevant, nothing is unimportant, nothing is insignificant. Everything should be handled with a touch of gentleness, tenderness, love, with efficiency in action, no? Perfection, with gratitude, with dedication. Even if we fail in 99 times, one we may be able to succeed. And then think about it and talk to him, talk to him, talk to him. Nama itself is a dialogue with him.
Yes, Swami.
Nama itself. That means remember him. Papa says chanting is for remembering him. Remembering him means we are chanting your name. And what did he add? I am chanting the name of one who is within me, number one. Number two, I am chanting because you make me to chant. It is a dialogue, you know. When you say, I am chanting because you are making me to chant. So even the Nama chanting also becomes a dialogue, where we tacitly, in an implied way, we are recognizing his presence within us.
Yes, Swami. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Anybody, anything else?
One more thing, Swami. When the spectacle was snatched by a monkey, Papa could maintain equanimity. But in our case, we have to encode the equanimity. Naturally, it has to come for us. How can we naturally get the quality, Swami?
Yeah. When a person who has done postgraduate, when he does something, I will not be able to understand, you know. I have to reach that stage. I must pay the price. His language I will not be able to understand unless I go through, I upgrade myself. I upgrade. So when it was not that simply Papa was able to do it. That is why we always say that we should start from where he had started. He started from an ordinary grihastha level. He started from an ordinary professional level, who was subjected to severest challenges. We should also start from there. When he, after 2 years of struggle, when he has reached that stage, and when the monkey took, he was in a position to make it up. What an amount of schooling, what an amount of practice he has done in the 20 to 22 period. That is why we always say we should start from where they have started. That means we are trying to go through their suffering, their struggle, and their self-discipline, their withdrawal, self-denial, their commitment to the ideal. Nobody could shake him, you know. Entire people were against him. Wife, child, brothers, father. But still, he stuck to it, na? The commitment was there. I will not compromise. So that is why he was able to maintain that. So we cannot follow that. We have to do it in our own way. So we have a dialogue with him and tell him, what is, you show me how should I remember you?
So, Swamiji,
Uh,
that means that really there is no wrong way to remember him as long as we are remembering him, correct?
eh?
As long it is okay if we remember him.
There is no need to like chant or something like that. Remembering is the
No. There is no wrong way to remember him. Every way we remember him is the right way, as long
every way
as we
remembering
always
him
remember
is the right way.
That is the right way. That is called God realization.
Every way, everything.
That is important. Realizing Him. What is God realization? Realizing Him every moment. Even in my forgetfulness, even in my ignorance, even in my knowledge, even in my awareness. I will not attribute to anything else. He made me to forget. He made me to become unaware. We are passing on the whole onus on it, not keeping anything further. There is no divide there.
Swamiji, Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
Today this point was very, very nice and appealing for us who are little far from, physically far from ashram. That think that he is always, God is always with me, Ram is always with me. Even for 3 seconds, every half an hour or 1 hour, if we think, we feel very good. This point was very, very, very touching.
Yes.
Yes, because we, from childhood, we always thought that God was in ashram.
Correct.
So, for all guidances and for all support, we used to depend on somebody else.
Yeah,
But when we feel that God is with me, He is always with me, 24 hours.
24 hours, exactly, 24 hours.
So it gives us support and we feel that we need not depend on external things. That is what Papa wanted us to do.
Wanted us.
That is what, yes, Mataji wanted us to do, that we have to be self-reliant.
Yeah.
And 3-4 days ago, Swamiji, Swamiji said that if from me to me, if we stand like compartments, then if we think that I am right and somebody is wrong, it is like compartmenting us.
Correct.
So every situation, everybody is right, but our thinking is may be different. So we should not be like a compartment. We are a part of the cosmic consciousness.
Correct.
3-4 days ago it was mentioned and I liked it very much. That whole thought was going inside my head for 3-4 days.
Glory to Him, glory to Him.
Yes. It is very, very appealing, very, very touching.
We all liked it. Like, what are you doing?
When we say that even ignorance, even forgetting is His, we remember one.
Nothing is irrelevant, nothing is unimportant,
Correct.
Nothing is insignificant. So it uses the strength to accept anything that comes in front. It helps us. It may not be easy every time, but it reminds us that anything, anybody, though it may be from lower strata or anything different, but still it is Papa's roof, it is Papa's space. So nothing is unimportant, irrelevant and insignificant.
Correct.
These 3 statements give us a lot of strength to stand up. It's very nice for me.
Glory to Him, glory to Him. We were just remembering one episode in the Purana. We were told that when the Rama-Ravana Yuddha was going on, the stage came when somebody suggested to Lord Rama that you should perform a puja, a havan. So, but it should be done by a qualified person. Brahmin, of course, a qualified person. So they started finding out who fits in. Then everybody said only Ravana is the fittest person. This is to invoke the needed power to annihilate Ravana. But when Ravana was approached, we were told, Ravana readily agreed. From that plane, he is not mixing up. And then he came there, performed everything. So that means even these qualities are there inherent in everybody. As somebody said, not limiting ourselves to a particular occasion. In a comprehensive way, the godliness is there, in everybody. So whenever it is needed, that also comes. But it is not mixed up with the vyavaharik dealing. There he fights like an enemy. But here he goes like a Brahmin who has been asked to perform. Similarly, before the war starts, on those days, an auspicious day will be fixed. So Nakul, Sakadev, they are experts. So Duryodhana, they are Pandavas, enemy camp. But Duryodhana goes and consults Naruna, give me the auspicious day so that I can win over you. And Lord Krishna knew about it, so he made something by which, the truth does not get distracted, at the same time, truth is not made known. So that particular portion makes us to remember that we should know that it is a Leela, and we should know that everything is in him. We don't have to, Mataji always used to hammer this. When she said, when you write about a Mahatma, don't write only about the positive things. It gives a wrong message to the reader. You give him comprehensively everything. Then only we will start understanding it. Actually, all these things were instrumental for us to understand the word in Bhagavad Gita, Matta Smritijnanam Apohanam Cha. Because he is the memory, he is giving us the memory, he is giving us the knowledge, he is giving us the forgetfulness. Smriti Jnanam Apohanam. We were unable to understand this. It's paradoxical, to remember and to forget, both are given by him. Then we look at ourselves, he makes us to forget, correct. He makes us to remember, correct. Then it becomes very clear. So every time we try to somehow bring his role into us, even if it is not constant, we may not be able to have constancy in that, because we are yet to reach that stage. But we are on the journey. We are on the road. So we can make an earnest effort to somehow remember him. Now again, when we go through Mataji's words, Papa's words, it becomes more and more clearer to us. Previously, we were not able to understand the import of it. Now we understand, this is what they meant. Previously, I thought, how can this see Papa? This is a wire. How can I see Papa? Anyway, because it was told by Mataji, we will not question. But now we know. By that, what she meant was go to the origin. If God gave a concept to somebody's mind, and ultimately God gave the necessary impetus, necessary knowledge, necessary sustaining effort, and then finally the concept became a reality, and it is before us. It started from the concept given to him. So then we understand what Mataji said was. So right from the tiniest to the grossest. Let us try. Very good. Today we have been able to dwell on it.
We have heard Swamiji saying so many times, nobody is irrelevant, nobody is insignificant, nobody is unimportant. That has gone deep into my mind. In the last few years, whomever I see, whether we go to the hospital, even the garbage cleaner in the street, everybody is serving us.
Correct.
I am so grateful to them.
Right.
What a service they are doing. Their work is not insignificant. So that I started realizing.
Correct. First me to we.
Peace of mind.
First me to we, and then we to him. We will not stop with them. He has also prompted, when he has given us Vyavahara, garbage will be there. Garbage is also a part of Vyavahara. So he then motivates somebody to clean it. Okay, more about it tomorrow. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om